look at fucking James. Oh my god, look at his chest. Alright. Hey internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to Seduce Me the Demon War, James's Route. And in the last episode, there was smut, so thankfully for that. But aside from that stuff, we fought with the angels, and now, since we got away with it, Diana said that we're marked now, so I don't know how this is gonna play out for the ending, but now we're finally gonna go fight the Demon Lord, and let's hope that I don't get a bad ending again like last episode. The day of the siege has finally dawned. We had arrived at the Demon Lord's castle, and we were ready as we could ever be. Many armies bearing different banners and colors washed over the ground before the castle, ready to rush in and lay waste to the Demon Lord, and the remainder of his forces. All of us shared a common enemy. Upon his demise, we would finally know some form of peace.
Nervous?
What kind of question is that, James? I would be lying if I said I wasn't. James smiled and held my hand tightly before bringing it up and kissing over it.
No matter what happens, we will end this, and you will see the human world again. You have my word.
Oh man, I hope that's true. I listened to him speak before nodding, taking in a deep breath. Everything would be okay. We would be fine. I had to believe in myself and get us to the castle when the time was right. Alright, so now we're gonna head through the forest on the side to get to the castle while Diana goes straight ahead to the castle. This should be fine. The journey was surprisingly, dare I say, peaceful. The sound of war exploded beside us outside the tree line, causing me to cover my ears a bit from the volume, but I shook my head and pressed forward, not wanting to become distracted. The goal was to get to the castle. I had to focus. As I rushed forward, I felt my instincts go aflutter, causing me to stop and remember that I could fly. My incubus skidded to a halt beside me, looking at me in out of breath and confusion.
Huh? What is it?
I looked up at him, staring into his eyes and contemplating my plan. It took a lot of energy out of me, but it was faster than running. Plus, I would be holding him with me, adding on to the weight. I took a moment before mentally hitting the fuck it button. I quickly grabbed my incubus's hand and pulled him close, tightly wrapping an arm around him and shooting my hand down to the ground. Fly! Alright, we're just gonna fly over it anyway. As my voice rang into the air, my feet suddenly were pushed off the ground, pulling my incubus along with me, causing him to wrap his arms around me in utter surprise and fear of falling. Ah! Jason's arms like, what the fuck? We didn't even tell him that we could fly. Our bodies shot into the air above the tree line to see the battle raging beside us. I stared in shock as the battle escalated between the two sides, slicing and ripping at each other for territory and ground. Still, the thought of the castle ran through my mind, causing me to shake my head and fly forward. And the incubus in my arms held me tighter. It was a little cute to think about him holding me like this for once as I guided through the air. I wouldn't think it's cute. I would fear of like dropping James. That's what I would be scared of. I knew that there were imps still in the forest below. However, as I glared into the tree and pointed out my hand, formerly familiar green orb in my hand, chucking it into the woods, I repeated the action over and over as it continued. Oh yeah, we have the thorn bush. Is that what it's called? I forgot. I could faintly hear the sounds of imps below becoming caught in my thorns, some of them crying out from actually being impacted by one of the orbs and being cocooned in the thorny trap. Ouch. My incubus, despite probably being surprised at my carnage, ignored the sounds below us and held me close to him, knowing that if he let go, he would fall. I wasn't focused on him at that moment. All I cared about was getting us to the castle. By the time we reached the end of the forest, there were a slew of dead bodies behind us. An entanglement of forest full of thorn bushes. I landed at the tree line and panted, feeling waves of exhaustion rush through my body. I panted for air, slowly focusing on calming down, as my energy quickly depleted from continuing usage to keep me in the air. That was all I could do before my energy expanded and a wave of exhaustion rolled through my body. I began to fall forward, exhausted. My fiancé, however, quickly rushed forward and caught me in his arms.
Whoa! Are you okay?
No, man, it just fucking carries you across the fucking forest? Jeez. Huh? I looked up at James staring down at me, with a deeply concerned gaze. We were safe for a moment, so I merely smiled up at him with a nod. I'm fine. I promised to protect you like you protect me. James let out a small laugh, kissing my forehead and hugging me to him.
That you did. I'm so proud to call you mine.
Ah, sweetheart. I hugged him back, feeling the relief that we finally arrived at the castle and we were about to rush inside. As we slowly pulled away, James lifted me up and helped me to my feet.
Will you be all right?
I nodded, shaking off the exhaustion from my mind. I was ready to end this. I looked up at the castle gates and felt a rush of determination rush through me. Let's go finish this. With that, James and I rushed forward into the castle. The final battle begun. Oh god! The ring sound of clashing swords greeted me and James as we sprinted into the castle towards the main hall. James placed a hand in front of me as he spotted the battle waging afoot on the throne dais. Oh no. Please tell me Diana does not die in this route too, because I swear to god, she keeps dying and I hate it. Diana and the Demon Lord slammed their swords against each other over and over in a violent repetition, with Diana leveling her tall opponent in fight. Just from the force behind her swings, you could think that their swords would break and bend. The sound of steel, however, could not cover the snarls that erupted from each of them as they pressed against the clash between them.
It's over, you brute bastard! We'll see about that!
Oh shit! With a heavy grunt, the Demon Lord pushed his sword forward with a pulse of red energy, causing Diana to fly back and slam into the pillar with a painful thud.
Ah!
Diana crumpled onto the ground, her wings instantly folding against her back from the impact. However, it only took a second for her to recover and look up with a rejuvenated glare. That's Diana. That's the Diana I know. Revolting off the ground, Diana flew up the Demon Lord once more and slammed her sword into his. A large burst of purple flames erupted between their weapons.
Ah! I will send you to hell where you belong!
Yeah! James and I watched in silence as Diana and the Demon Lord danced their deadly duel, not wanting to get in the way of their rage. After all, James was merely a backup, and Diana seemed fine so far. So far. Key words here. For some reason, however, as I stared at Diana, something about her hits looked almost effortless, like something was guiding her sword to land each strike. Was she that skilled in combat? What do you mean by that? What? After a fury of deadlocks, Diana finally managed to swing her sword and angle it, slicing it back to the Demon Lord's hand and making him drop his weapon.
Ah, you!
The Demon Lord quickly stepped back and reared his other hand back, forming a large red orb in his hand. However, as soon as he thrust it forward, it began to dissolve and dispute in the air, vanishing completely before it reached Diana's body.
What?
Whoa. Wait. What? Diana stared back in shock at the occurrence, taking in that his attack didn't hit her, before she slowly grew a smirk on her face, and a golden glow over her blood-red irises.
Looks like you're all out of energy.
Shit. Damn, get fucked, alright? With another angry growl, the Demon Lord repeated his action, only to stare in disbelief as it evaporated into the air. It was large enough in his hand, yet it vanished all too quickly. Something was wrong. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like, I get it, he could lose his energy and whatever, but I didn't think it would be that quickly. Something weird is happening. Diana didn't seem to care as she lifted her hand back behind her and formed a large purple orb in her palm before shooting it forward. The orb slammed into the Demon Lord's chest and pushed him back against the pillar harshly, forming a large crack in the stone at the impact.
It's over!
Really? With the battle cry, Diana gripped her other saber with both hands and flew forward, charging to skewer the Demon Lord through his chest. As she began to fly forward, I guessed at the sight of white feathers slowly painting over Diana's demon. Is it Seto? I imagine it would be Seto helping. I don't know, that's just me. Over Diana's demonic wings. Angels were here. Wait! Diana wasn't listening. Her eyes became completely glossed over in gold color as a strange white glow began to emanate from her like holy light magic. Like holy light, and guided her forward towards the intended victim. Within a mere blink, Diana had run her saber through the Demon Lord's chest, piercing through his heart and impaling him against the pillar. What the fuck is happening? James and I could do nothing but stare in shock at what Diana had done, and what was happening to the succubus in question. Her body light up an almost ethereal white glow as she snarled into the Demon Lord's face.
May Satan take you and tear you apart in the pits of hell.
Whoa, wait, what? My body shuddered in fear at the sound of her voice, while she naturally had some sort of demonic renaissance as she spoke. Something else was laced to her voice, giving it almost a celestial lifted tone. Yeah, she sounds like, not like, I'm not saying like, you know, her voice like sounded different, but the way she's speaking, it's like different from what Diana would normally say, you know what I mean? Compared to like the other roots that we've seen. Demon Lord's eyes glazed over and soon lost their light, as he ever slowly went into limped over, the blade embedded within him. Blood slowly dripping from his mouth into Diana's forearms. Diana, however, released the handle of her blade and glided back, shaking her arms and ridding of the Demon Lord's blood. Despite what I normally expected from Diana, the succubus didn't seem to care that her mortal enemy had fallen at last. Yeah, because she was so emotional every time the Demon Lord died in the other roots. Is she possessed? Because I get the feeling she's possessed, right? Oh god, please tell me, please, For the love of God, I swear to God, if we have to fight Diana, I'm gonna fucking freak the fuck out. She already died enough, okay? We don't need this crap. She didn't even seem to care that her wings had become angelic and covered in her beautiful white feathers. If it wasn't for her tainted demon skin and horns, I would imagine Diana at this moment would be confused as the angels I imagined from the human world. The reality of the situation, however, was apparent. Something was wrong with Diana.
It is done. It is over.
No, girl, it ain't. I looked to James, seeing his cautious but deadly glare burn itself into Diana's form. As she looked up at him, eyes still glazed over in a gold glow.
It isn't truly over, is it?
Diana stared at the pair of us for a moment before lowering herself onto her feet onto the floor and letting her new angelic wings fold against her back patiently. With an almost sickening sweet smile, Diana lifted her hand towards James and beckoned at him.
You are correct. You must take your throne, Restrau.
What is happening? My anger flared at the sound of his true name escaping her lips, but my soul began to quiver in fear. Diana was being controlled by the angels, and now she seemed to be an instrument for James's destiny. Wait, so then what is Seto doing right now? James, however, remained at my side, glaring hard at Diana, still with a hand across my body in protection.
You do not have permission to use my name with such familiarity.
And why do you say that? I am the queen of the demon world now, and you are my betrothed.
What the fuck? Oh no, should I have, like, gone with, like, Faye and the others to, like, kill Diana or something? What is happening? Diana ran her hand through her hair and over her horns, dragging them down her neck with each curve of her upper body seductively. This is definitely not Diana.
My mind, body, and soul are completely yours, as is the domination of this world. I share these pleasures and power with you, with the purest love from the bottom of my heart, as your true, universally intended bride.
Girl, now you belong with Sarah. What is going on? James reached his hand back and took my hand, knowing that her words were digging into my mind with edges of betrayal and annoyance. I knew James wouldn't accept her, but I also knew that this was not Diana, so who knew what the angel controlling her would do next? Diana tilted her head to the side, slowly lowering herself onto her knees and stretching her arms by her side, bearing herself to us.
Unless you desire me to be your slave.
Yeah, no!
I will happily give you the throne and eternally serve you until the end of time.
What the fuck?
Enough! Release her and reveal yourself, Seraph!
I gripped at James' hand, staring wide at Diana. She simply chuckled and guided her hand together, pressing her palms between her breasts and leaning back to stare at a high marbled ceiling.
This child of Lilith is offering herself to you, demon. Yet you refuse to take it.
What?
You know my answer.
It is a foolish answer. This demoness can become a vessel of power for you.
Bitch,
The
let
mother
Diana
of
go!
your lineage. What more can you desire that the human can hope to provide?
Stop it! This time I had to interject. This was wrong and underhanded. Whatever spell Diana was under gripped at her tightly enough to become some sort of twisted submissive to James, and no part of me appreciated it. Like, it's not like I'm jealous or anything because I know Diana's not like that. I don't want Diana to suffer, alright? Because she suffered enough. Like, fucking let her go. This angel was some sort of sick and twisted being that needed to be stopped somehow. Whoa! Whoa! Look at fucking James! Oh my god, look at his chest. Alright. James finally stepped forward, forming a sword in his hand and staring down at it in a serious thought.
An angel like you can never understand the desires I hold.
That is because your desires are misplaced. You know deep in your heart that you desire to rule over this world. Your demonic blood craves the power.
What the fuck? I watched James gaze deep into the steel of his blade, locking his eyes with himself. Still, he continued to speak.
It is true that some part of me wishes to rule this world. Some darker, unfeeling shadow of the past that was raised to live and become the ultimate lord of this plane.
I guess that's why it would be so easy to manipulate James, because he was so conditioned and taught to be like, oh, you're gonna take over the throne next. So that's essentially why it's so easy to control James, because it's like he has that desire in him because he's known that all his life. So I get how easy it is to get the bad ending, but still, James doesn't want it. As James gripped the handle of his sword tightly, he shifted his gaze to Diana's body.
But my heart knows where it belongs. With the human who loves me as I love her!
Yes, fuck you! My heart fluttered in my chest at James's words, feeling every ounce of passion and determination embedded in each sound. Diana, however, let out a dark laugh.
Love, how fleeting. Your defiance comes from such a weak emotion.
As Diana finally straightened back up, I stepped back from the sight of her eyes. Instead of black pupils, her golden eyes held two dark crosses burning within her, lost irises. The smirk on her face intensified.
Allow me to show you a power greater than love!
Whoa! With her hard flap of her wings, Diana jutted forward, forming another saber in her hand and arching it across James. Her target continued to rely, clashing his sword to hers with a heavy clang. Oh my god, I instantly jumped back away from the fight as James and Diana began to clash swords, again and again. James's face showed his pure concentration as Diana's cackled in both in insane glee and obsessive desire. Can we call Sero? Like, seriously?
Fight however you like! You cannot escape your destiny!
What the
I will, and you will not stop me!
Oh god! The speed of the clashes had increased. The rapid sounds of steel beating steel clashed through the air like a wave of violent drums. They were equally matched and neither of them seemed to get close to giving in. How long would this fight go for? I knew Diana was probably exhausted from the fight, but the angel was working her through so that there was a chance that her exhaustion wouldn't matter. Then again, James had not lifted a finger in this war, so he had energy to spare. The entire situation became full of confusion and concern as James and Diana continued to duel without hesitation or need for air. As James took a heavy swing towards Diana, the succubus leaped back and sank gracefully on her feet, using her wings to ease her descent and stance, while she licked her lips.
Love is a fleeting game. Those who expect it to bring happiness will only experience sorrow in the end.
No! You're wrong! I was tired of this angel trying to get between me and James. Enough was enough. I stepped forward, desperately trying to find more energy within me to fight alongside James, but spoke out of regardless. You don't know anything about love.
I know more than you ever will, human. I have lived for eons serving heaven, and have watched your kind rant and rave all about love and its existence.
Diana lifted her hand to her chest, grasping it over her heart where it was, and almost laughed at me at my words.
You humans use love for the most meaningless of things. I love him, I love her, I love this, I love that. You claim love to be a powerful emotion, yet you can't even give it the power it supposedly deserves, as you use it for everything.
Yo, this angel is salty as fuck. What the hell?
I've watched that word fall on deaf ears. I've seen lives destroyed, despite love guiding them forward. The mere word has become a throwaway amalgam of letters, used to express minor joy for things that will decay and die in the end.
Also a hint of edgelord there. Oh my god. Oh man. Oh no. Oh shit, I gotta say. I'm gonna say love is stronger than you think. Do you think that's the right answer? I don't know. I'll probably fuck this up, but we'll see. I knew deep down that the emotion of love was stronger than the angel could ever imagine. This wasn't something they could debate against when I had experienced it firsthand with the man it was trying to take it away. Diana laughed and shook her head, coughing at my explanation before stretching her arm forward to the side.
Love is weak! I have claimed the body of a succubus who is full of true love, and not even her love could stop me!
Wait, so then where's Sero? What? I stared away at Diana. She was in love? Yeah, with Sero. Even more so, she had a pure and true love, but if love was the factor behind the control, then something was off. I shook my head and glared once more at Diana, burying my gaze into her eyes at the angel who was controlling her movements. You controlling her has nothing to do with love. You're taking advantage of her being weak from the fight with the demon lord. Finally, Diana's face melted into a glare as she bared her teeth at me and growled.
You know nothing! Less than nothing! Filthy, unclean human! You open your mouth and spout nonsense and forget your place in the universe!
Jesus Christ! How much salt does this person have, or this angel? My god. Diana's saber began to glow an unfriendly white color as Diana's hand began to quake at holding it. Was Diana fighting back, or was the angel's anger shaking her limbs with rage? I wasn't able to tell.
I will erase you!
No, please don't. Please tell me I do not have the bad ending. I swear to God. A hard flap of Diana's wings made Diana fly forward towards me. Oh no! The sword held high to rip me in two. However, her blade was met with James's... Oh god. As he reached up and guarded me. Thank God. I thought I was gonna get stabbed again.
You!
James pressed back against Diana's saber, his body glowing a dark gold color in response to her ever-growing aura.
Your battle is with me, Angel. I will not let you touch her.
Yes! With a heavy snarl, Diana pressed herself against the deadlock, leaning towards James and practically fronting of the mouth.
I will make you yield!
Unaffected by her scream, James summoned a burst of yellow energy forward, knocking Diana back towards the throne dais. Diana flipped back and floated into the air gracefully, shaking her head before sneering at James. The demons sprang at each other once more, slamming their swords together in hope to push the other away or strike the opponent down. Purple and gold clashed through the room, the speed of their duel growing exponentially with each hit and parry. Watching Diana, however, I could tell that the exhaustion was hitting her hard physically. Her hits became wild and thrown by adrenaline instead of with purpose and intent to kill. The angel would not be able to hold on for long. Please let Diana go. Oh my goodness. And where is Seto? Can we please call him? What the heck? James was putting up a good fight despite this, easily blocking and dodging her attacks before pummeling into a barrage of his own, laced with gold energy that burst between the swords at each hit. As soon as an opening became available at once, James gripped onto Diana's wrist and twisted it back, making her release his saber, with a painful scream and causing him to drop his own sword. Oh no.
Enough of this!
Oh god, please. Using a momentum of his attack, James spun Diana around in his arms with the almost dislocating her, slamming against his feet into the back of his knees, causing her to buckle forward and land on two painful thuds. James, however, pushed Diana farther down and slammed her body onto the ground, trapping her arms against her back and with a foot and gripping onto Diana's large wing with both hands. I guess he wasn't going to rip them off her, right? Oh god, come on, please, we've already seen this! With a concentrated glare at the back of Diana's head, his fist tightened around Diana's feathery wings and suddenly sent a wave of golden flame through them. The fire stopped at Diana's back, only consuming the wings in a golden red flame. Oh, okay. Oh, I feel so bad for Diana. What the heck? Diana's scream echoed through the room, bouncing off the floor and the walls in the frenzy that she could do nothing and feel the flames engulf her wings. The feathers that painted over them began to burn and dissolve into ash, falling around her. Soon enough, the pain became unbearable enough to force Diana to make her wings vanish back into her skin, where two large burn marks signed themselves.
I'm sorry.
Come on, why does Diana... Michaela, what the hell? Why are you doing this to Diana? Not giving Diana a single ounce of mercy, James dug his foot beneath her body and flipped her over, causing her back to arch in pain from the impact of her burns on the marble. Smoke sneered from her back and she gasped loudly. Diana's mouth opened and let out her breath. James quickly grasped onto her neck, squeezing tightly, causing the succubus beneath him to choke. James! Neither demon would hear me as Diana gripped onto James's wrist and began to claw at them, desperate to make him let her go. Oh no. Please! Do I have to choose between Diana and James right now? Okay, so I'm gonna end the episode here. Sorry about that. Things are getting really intense and I'm just afraid that I made a mistake. I probably did, but you know, we'll see. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Seduce Me, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to join the companions. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Yes, please, but I cannot drink it without sugar. You can't drink it all, you have no fucking head, dude! Oh dear, I'm afraid we're out of sugar. I'm sure I have some.